strictly wrap around the... Nope, I do not accept that. Right. Hey, I'm getting a new needle. And apparently, I moved my trash can without me knowing. Okay, so this will be my temporary trash can. Hey. Let's see. Hi, everyone. There we go. Screw in. Okay. I'm going to be using 90 weight thread, 120 by 19 needle. I'm going to be sewing leather today. So this is going to be a fun experiment. I was cutting out fabric and then all of a sudden I seen this leather. I'm like, why not sew the leather? But I'm going to be using the same principles as the vinyl, except for one part, the slip pocket, and I'm going to walk you through what I modified and how you can have it for vinyl or cotton. There we go. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with my straps first, because even though I'm going to be I cut out leather straps and I rounded the edges, I wanted them to have stitching on it. So I'm going to be putting 1/8 of an inch stitching around the straps. I just like the look of stitches. Good morning. Thank you, Renee. All right. It just, I don't know. I like the way it looks. So, like, this is what it looks like before, before we're stitching. It looks good with no stitching, but it just, I don't know. I just like the way it looks. So I have two straps that are 30 inches because I couldn't cut out like a 60-inch strap. So I'm going to do that little strap method when you add a rectangle ring to one side. Hey. Oh, it's snowing out there? Oof. That's harsh. This spring doesn't know if it wants to be spring or winter. Oh my goodness, I can't open anything today. So I'm doing one of the just a plain rectangle ring with this. I'm going to get the males and the females. I need to punch a bigger hole. There we go. I'm going to set this. And then on the other end, I can do the same thing. Fold it down about 1 inch. So for vinyl, you would just have your 4-inch piece of vinyl folded in and do it like any other strap. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Hi from Alabama. It could be numerous things, internet, storm, weather. I'm sorry that the feed's breaking up for you. So on this one, we're going to oops. I should have waited. I'm most likely going to have to remove that rivet. I always forget that step. Of course, my puppies have to sound off. Oh, no, I don't. So I'm going to feed this part right here. It stays like this. I'm going to have it going this direction. I'm going to feed the open edge that has no swivel hook through the D ring or a rectangle ring. Then I'm going to have it go up and down the adjuster like you do with any other strap. And now I'll put swivel hook on this side. And we have our strap. A nice leather strap. So it's ready to go. Nice and neat. So I'm going to put this aside for right now. Let's see. Thank you, Lynette. All right, so I'm going to put this over here. And we're going to work on the next part, which is the snap, like the snap tab that is all part of the vinyl. If you're having vinyl, what I like to do is I like to cut out one piece. I trace it with a pencil, pen, or whatever. I cut it out with a really pair of sharp scissors, and I then mark where your magnet needs to go. Now, you could do two things. I'm going to be using a rivet magnet, so I don't have to pierce and prong it. But if you're going to be using a magnet that is not a riveted one, then you would mark with your washer piece where the prongs are going to poke it through. Make sure you have some kind of interfacing on the back so it could be stable, and then you would do what I'm doing next. So what I like to do is get some glue. And I'm going to just put it all over this piece and really get around the edges so that way they can stay together. Be at one with the glue. And then I'm going to adhere this to the wrong side of the leather. And then I'm just going to, this is chalk. I'm sorry, I have chalk all over me. Roll it out. From here, I'm going to top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. Back stitching at the beginning and end. Oh, let me show you another trick. So this is going to be the side, the front piece of my bulge. If you're working on a domestic and you're worried about bulk, so this is going to be the front piece. These are the same pieces. Now you have the room to make the second piece like a 1/2 inch shorter or 3/8 of an inch shorter, so it's not in your seam allowance. And because there's 2 rows of stitching that goes onto this that can conceal that the other piece is not quite the same size, which can help with bulk tremendously. So what I would do, this glue's already trying to set, is I would mark a 1/2 inch, and I would just trim that amount off, so that way that part won't be as much of my seam allowance. We're going to be using a, my ruler just flew off. We're going to be using a 1/4 of an inch and a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance instead of the 1/2 inch. We're going to go around. All right. So now I'm just going to take my scissors that are really sharp, and I'm just going to cut around it. You can use your rotary if you wish, but my hand is more stable with a pair of scissors than it is a rotary cutter. I guess, I don't know. I think I just have more control with scissors. And I have a tendency of like rotaring my nails off. I don't know if anyone else does that, but yeah, that's a real thing for me. So I'm going to make sure this is the correct size. And any extra overage. Let's see. Good morning, California. Hey, Pammy. This zipper tab I'm making out of leather. You can make it out of faux leather, cork. There is a pattern piece even to do it for cotton. All right, so it's nice and clean. And now I'm going to poke a hole. And I'm going to install the male part of the rivet. Sorry, if my puppies go off, it's just when my kids are home, they get like extra protective. Okay, and my press is through Buckle Guy, and I really like this press. It's hands down my most favorite tool in here in my room. I'm going to take off the rivet. It's heavy though, so I wouldn't recommend this for someone that doesn't pick up. When I'm talking about heavy, it is not like a regular machine. I think it weighs like at least 30 pounds. There we go. And I need to oil it. Desperately. Oops, wrong one. That would have been not a good mistake. I think I need to get an Allen wrench. Okay. Okay, we have that all set up. Let's see. All right. So we have the magnet. And I'm going to move this over and we're going to start working on the front flap because that's where the other magnet has to go. Let's see. As I'm going to be working with leopard. This is hair on hide. Let's see. I'm looking for a pattern piece so I can draw. Let's see. Where did it go? Okay, there it is. I need a different color. And I had my chalk pencil. Okay. I'm going to punch a hole. I'm just going to put this paper here because it's really hard to see anything on the fur. Okay, I'm going to put the female magnet in there. Today's the 29th, right? Let's see. I like to sign my pieces. Hi. I'm going to put the female part in. And it's riveted in. Oh. Okay. And these pieces are going to go like this. Nice strong magnet pull. And now I'm just going to change this back over to our rivet press versus a magnet press. Cam Snaps has a handheld press for riveted magnets that is really nice. I've worked with one, and if you're looking for just like a handheld press, theirs is really good. And sometimes they have like if you sign up to their newsletter or something like that, you get a percentage off. All right. So we're going to now sew these two pieces together, right sides together, and we're going to do it at 1/4 of an inch. I know that it's a 1/2 inch, but I feel like when we cut off do a 1/2 inch, we're cutting off like 1/4 of an inch on each side, so it winds up being a 1/2 inch, and that's just a lot of material that goes to waste. So I like to do patterns with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and then when I do the lining, I do 3/8 of an inch to make sure that it's nice and secure. And around the curved part, I'm going to use my Kai pinking shears, and I'm trying to put little snips in through just the rounded part so that I can curve out nice. Make sure you don't cut into your seam allowance, because then you have to go and maybe increase and do 3/8 of an inch all the way around versus the 1/4. We're going to flip it right sides out. Because this is high on hair, the hair sometimes will get on the water resistant canvas, and I just take a brush and I brush it off. Getting a boning tool, and I'm just going around that curve to make sure that I can get a nice crease. And then I'm just going to give this a nice tug and put a couple clips on the top so it doesn't want to roll on itself. Good morning, Joanne. Get this. Okay, we're going to top stitch at 1/8 of an inch. And I'm just trying to roll the lining out back to the back. Okay, we finish the flap. We're going to put it that this side. Let's grab one of the exterior backs. Let's see. And I want to put a pocket back here. Let's see. I'm going to put it 2 inches down. Marking my centers. Hello. Putting some double-sided tape. All right, and then I'm going to sew this flap around using 1/8 of an inch. I'm sewing on a Juki 1541S. For the zipper back, I cut a 7-inch zipper placket. The zipper plackets from Sew Yours. My dogs, they go off of like the most simple things. So just bear with them. I got the hair from the hide like on everything. Like I was sneezing nonstop when I was like cutting. I was like, yeah, faux fur in my face. It's not, well, not faux fur, it's real fur. So that makes it even not better for me. And then I cut out my zipper pockets to be 8 by 7. You're welcome. Let's get this on. I'm going to sew this down with 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to open it up and baste it down at 1/8 of an inch on where you can see the wrong side of the water resistant canvas. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. love this machine. This is my baby. I love this machine, but I'm not gonna lie, I love all my Jukies. I'm very blessed to have what I have. I love the 5550 and I love the 1341S. They're all fantastic machines. Every time, what I did is I would sell bags and then I would buy a machine. Then I would sell more bags and then I'll buy another machine. And slowly but surely I got the ones that I needed. Loki. That's my dog Loki, and he's in the vents. He does this whenever I'm sewing. He'll play with a toy like right above the vent that's over my head. And then I'm going to place this in the center as best as I can. And then I'm going to go around this with 1/8 of an inch. I do go back stitch over the sides because it gets the most wear and tear. And now I'm going to close this pocket. Okay, one side down. Let's start working on the other one. This is the one with the slip pocket. Now, what you do for the slip pocket is you will put your lining and your faux leather, whatever you want, right sides together, and then you would put it where the wrong sides are touching and then top stitch 1/8 of an inch. Then you would mark the lines that they have on the back for the darts. So, and to help alleviate some bulk, I'm just going to sew on the lines and then reduce bulk by trimming the leather. So you back stitch at the beginning and the end of your dart, and it looks weird, but it gives it the cutest little dimples. So it's like a really cute dimple. Make sure the lines are lining up. All right. Now, for you at home, you would just take your materials and move the darts towards the inside of the pocket. But because you can see I have tons of bulk, I'm actually just going to trim at an angle where the dart is. So that way I don't have as much bulk. Then I'm going to find my center. And make a little mark. Find my center over here. Ooh, congratulations, Linda. You have to plug it in. It feels like a shock at first when you first get it, but then it's magic. You just gotta become one with your sewing machine. And I'm gonna still push the little darts towards the inside. And just clipping. And I'm just making sure everything lines up and is even. All right, so I'm going to base this on using 1/8 of an inch. All right, so I want to find my center here. So I'm going to do a little trim. And we're going to sew this on at 1/4 of an inch. Back stitch in the beginning and end. And then we want to sew at 1 inch from the seam. So I'm just going to lightly draw where 1 inch is, and this will cover that discretion of that 1/2 inch. So it just helps with bulk. Okay. All right, so we can start putting on the gusset for the exterior. Going to mark my centers. Okay. And I'm going to match the center first. and then bring these up. It is definitely a learning curve, but it's worth it. It's like the best learning curve ever. What I love about Alicia's patterns is that the gusset always fits like perfection, and it just makes you so happy. Like, yeah. Use as many or as few clips as you want. I'm an over clipper when it comes down to curves. So we're going to do 1/4 of an inch, and you're going to back stitch really well at the beginning and end. And if you're on a domestic, a hump jumper over that little bulky part where the strap is will help. Or just hand crank it, go slow. Okay. We have one. Let's get this back on. Take your time, clip is just clip it around as much as you want. There's like no wrong or right way to clip, I feel. Let's see. All right, and I'm going to just move this pocket up and out of the way, and then I'm going to start sewing at 1/4 of an inch again. Because I'm doing it in leather and I just didn't want to have the bulk. But I did explain how you would just add it to the slip pocket and just right sides together. Do your seam allowance, flip it wrong where the wrong sides are touching, and top stitch it at 1/8 of an inch. You would do the exact same thing that I'm doing, but if I can remove bulk, why not? And besides, it's leather, so it can have, it's like the raw edge is really nice. And if I want to like buff it out with like a tool to make it shiny, I can do that. Edge coat it. There's like a lot of different things you can go for. I forgot to put the strap connectors on. Jiminy, Jiminy Cricket. Well, we're gonna see Shinobu go the hard way on this. I forgot to do that. Well, Jiminy Cricket. Okay, well, we're gonna figure this out. Okay, I got an idea. I'm going to take 4-inch pieces and I am going to top stitch them down 1/8 of an inch on both sides. I'm going to grab my D-rings. Grab some tape. Feed my D-rings through. And go over and under. I do this with vinyl too. I always sometimes forget to put the connector pieces. I don't know why. It's like because I'm so excited to put the gusset on, and then I'm like, hot dang, I forgot. All right. So I'm going to have this go down 1.5 inches. I'm looking for my chalk pencil. Where did you go? Okay, we're just gonna mark 1.5 right there. 1.5 inches right there. I'm going to punch a hole about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and 1/4 of an inch from the top. And repeat. Okay. Then I'm going to mark the placements. Roxy's in rare form today. Whenever there's like it's stormy weather, she just gets so agitated. That's on one side. And let me mark and grab some rivets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm just to bring this around to the back and snap on the rivet female head part. Let's see. And rivet it in place. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Or you can use Chicago screws if you don't do rivets. I'm like really beginning to love Chicago screws. At first, I just didn't like them because I thought that I had punched a hole that was way too big, and then I started just really loving them. They just have so much character. Okay, and let me rivet this one in place real quick. Set it. And there, we have our sides. Looks nice. All right, so now we're going to put the flap on the back. So you want to, I'm going to base this top together so it's one unit, the lining at 1/8 of an inch. Right, and then I want to find my center. And then we're going to clip. And let's just base this on real quick at 1/8 of an inch. And while I'm at the back of this, I'm just going to finger press open the seam and start out seam to seam. So that way the back seams are open. That just helps reduce bulk period too. Okay. And this is going to be a nice bag. So when it closes, this is what it's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? This leather with the nubuck leather looks really nice. Let's start working on the interior. When I do Chicago screws, I've never had one unscrew, but at the same time I use a little bit of like fray check in there. It's not a super powerful glue, like I can unscrew it if I really need to, but it helps like lock everything into place. Okay. we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do, this is going to be the pocket that we're going to birth it out of. I like there's some really cute Chicago screws out. And if you're like really into like the steampunk look, Chicago screws is the name of the game for that. It gives it a more industrial look. All right. Same deal. We're going to go on this using 1/8 of an inch. We're making a bag, the Swoon Sandra bag, and I'm sewing up the lining. Okay, right sides of the zipper are taped up. You're going to place the wrong sides of the zipper tape onto the right sides of the lining. Then I'm going to flip it where you're going to see the wrong sides of the lining and the right sides of the zipper tape, and I'm going to sew it down again at 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to repeat the steps. Get my zipper full. I like to put my zippers on the right so they close to the left, but you can do it the other way around too. There's no wrong or right answer to do it. There's no wrong or right way of any in sewing, period. It's whatever makes it easier for you. See? Me and this tape. So are any of you guys going to any retreats this spring and summer or fall? There's so many different ones that I was looking at. There's some in the UK. There's just like they're everywhere. So I'm just curious where you guys are going. And if you haven't been at a retreat, what would make you go to one? Let's see. Nice and straight. I'm going to, because my lining's completely out of the way, I'm going to go around using 1/8 of an inch, back stitching over where the zipper teeth are. Okay, I'm going to open the zipper all the way. I'm going to go to the back and trim the lining so they're even. I'm going to fold in a 1/2 inch. Flip it and do the same on the other side. All right, and I'm going to sew down the sides. Back stitching really well at the beginning and end. We're going to be going to Garner Room in June, and then we have Wizardly in May. I know I'm excited for all of those. I'm going to a quilt retreat the weekend of Easter. Ooh, how fun. Are you guys, is there a specific project you guys are going to be doing, or? Sewcation, yes. I think there's also one that's in June, Vegas. I feel like that will be a fun one to go to, but the temptation to not like to be out and about in Vegas would get the best of me. All right, so let's get our other lining pieces. find our centers. Wizardly, I feel tremendously grateful and blessed that I'm able to attend and teach at that one. I've been drooling over that for a year or two now, and one of my friends, Ingrid, was telling me that it's just like the best retreat, and I was like, "Yay! I'm excited! I'm going to a place I never even heard of, Quitman, Texas. So I'm excited to see what that looks like and like food and all that. The first thing I do whenever I go somewhere is like, yeah, food. And you get the hair. That cheetah print's hair is like real. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and then sew it to 3/8 of an inch all the way around. Now, water resistant canvas has like 0 gives. So you're gonna, if you're using water resistant canvas, you're gonna have to snip some notches to fit the curve. And because we are doing a 3/8 of an inch, you can do your little notches to be 1/4 of an inch. Or just a scant 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. All right, so let's start at 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to go to 3/8. Okay, and we're going to start veering to 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and then we're just going to trim it down to 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Yeah, there's one in Vegas. I don't know if it's Socation or it's Amanda's thing. It's from Suicide. She's based in Oceanside, California. So if you look up Suicide, exactly how you think it's spelled, you will see. She has one. She has like a thing in June. just going to move this pocket out of the way. Putting the clips where I can, and then I'm going to snip the curves. You're welcome. She has some pretty nice vendors up there, and it's in Vegas, so it's at the end of June. I know there was a quilt show in California, I think, last weekend. I like quilt shows because I like seeing like the fabrics that are going to come. All things fabric. And then there's a chance that you can meet some of the fabric designers, and you're just like, well, at least I fangirl. Like, I think Tula Pink would be like, yeah, I don't want to meet Shinova. She is literally fangirling over me hardcore. It's uncomfortable. I would have like a million questions. I know she shows so much of like how she sketches in her work, but like I want to see, like, does she have like a tree, like, okay, I want to make skulls, and from that it branches off to, let's make it into a tree, let's have skull candies. Like, how does her thought process go? I'm just out of curiosity. And then I love Alison Glass. She just is bright and sunny. She's like what I want to feel like all the time. And I like when she comes out with like the dark and light colors, because that's how I feel. 10 bolts, like all of them. And there's so many bag designers that have fabric lines too. Like Noodlehead has her own fabric line, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's usually like mountains and just very earthy. So, and I know Crafty Gemini has a fabric collection as well. So, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am, I think at one point even So Sweetness had a fabric line. So it's always cool. I think people that design fabrics, they have my heart, because man, do I love fabric. Oh, Rashida Coleman's like one of my favorite designers. I would love to meet her. Oh yeah, Jade. Oh God, Jade and Chris are very nice. Jade is a genius, and she's good at what she does. So that's pretty cool to know. You guys can go there and see, play around with the tags and see, get the feel of it. So I'm gonna stick my exterior into my interior so it's right sides touching. I'm gonna flip my hardware down. I mean, it's nowhere near the where I'm gonna be stitching, but still. All right. I'm going to open up the seams. I'm gonna make sure my zipper pocket's open, okay? Because man, I hate when that zipper pocket's not open. I'm coming, big boy. Look, he's funny. I can't explain it. He's just a very interesting dog. If you were around him, you would think he's hilarious. Like the things that he does to, are just so dang cute. Except when he has murder bone, man. man, I stubbed my toe so bad on it the other day. My pinky toe was like all bruised up because of that bone. Okay, some areas are going to get a little thick, a little spicy, but we're going to go slow. It's not a big bag, so you can take your time. Okay. All right. We're gonna sew. You can sew at 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, whatever you think will be good for you. So with the Swoon patterns, I feel like it's easy to convert it to more like modern measurements and things like that because it's such a big seam allowance. And I'm just stopping to go over the seams and making sure that the bulk is spread out. Okay. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the bulk out of the side seams by kind of trimming and doing a notch. Trimming down a little bit. Now we have to play the Houdini card. this part did not get sewn in well. I think I accidentally cut too much when I was trimming. Yeah, see how the stitches are not there? So I'm just going to get squishy with this bag real quick and get that cotton. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to follow the same stitches on the either side of it. Okay. That magnet is like strong on the machine. Okay. Yep. Got caught now. Okay. Let's stick the lining in. I'm just rolling the seam. I know, I actually signed it on the inside. I'm like out of name tags and I ordered some, so I'm waiting for some metal ones to come in and just a whole bunch of different ones. I never thought I was gonna say that because I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna run out of name tags. You'll be surprised how fast you go through them when you sew a bag every day. Let's see. I'm looking for my needle nose pliers. What I usually do is, like with my needle nose pliers, when I find them, I like to pinch. There we go. I like to pinch the bulk. So I can help relieve the bulk right there. Okay. Let me close up this pocket. Okay, I'm gonna stitch this down using 1/8 of an inch. There's some really nice retreats going on at So Whatever Studios too. You have like Monica from Casting Handcrafted. She's going to be doing a leather Louis. You have Leslie from Jolie Lee Creations, and she's going to be doing that really cute. Like it looks like a little ghost bag. And who else? There's so many creations. Jessica is going to be. I think you're learning how to make a wallet and something. I think you're making a wallet and something else. And then, of course, Nicole from Sonar. You're learning how to do her new wallet, the Juno, and a bag. So like, I'm like, this is pretty cool. I think if you're in the North Carolina area, Fierce Kitten is going to be at Garner Room either this weekend or next weekend. I'm not too sure. There's a lot of different, so there's like a lot of different sewing things. I'm going to check my bobbin before we get this party started with the top stitching. Oh, we played Bobbin Chicken, guys. We played it. We did a good job. I'm sorry. I know you were like, you put the name tag. But still, with the leather, if I wanted to add like a tag, I can do something here. Like I have a couple wooden tags. I can just rivet right here in place and it can be nice and cute. So what I do with this bag is I like to start on the flap. And I'm going to squish it and get it its face. I'll get into a corner. I always like to start on a corner. Oh, it would help if I grab both. And I'm gonna sew it at 1/8 of an inch. Uh-oh, something does not sound right. Hold on. Yeah, it's the bobbin. Yeah, hold on. It's cool. Let me get this thread back. Sometimes the bobbin can act a little like a brat, but it's cool. Let's see. Okay, we'll give it a go again. And I'm just making sure that the other side is not in the way. And I'm just gonna squish it around. Now you could just turn the bag inside out, like right sides out, so that way you can top stitch it from the lining. I just like to make things more difficult. just I like to shake out the seams sometimes. But this is the bag. And then we strap our beautiful leather strap on here. And that's it. So that's the bag. It's super cute. You have a magnetic closure. You have a nice slip pocket, which I still got to brush out the fur. And you have your lining. You have a zipper pocket in here. You turn around, you got a snazzy little zipper pocket in the back. And you have really beautiful fur on the hide. And you're ready to go. You have your strap. What do you think? I think it's really, really pretty. I love hair on hide, except the cutting aspects. I do love hair on hide. I think it gives it a really elevated look. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you for going live with me today, and I'm so happy that I was able to do this. So if you have any questions in reference to the pattern, leave a comment down below and I'll be more than willing to help you. The glue, someone I think asked earlier, I used the MagTac glue for the tab. I love that glue. It sews through really beautifully. It dries really fast and it doesn't gum up my needles. So just wanted to show you, and that is it. I hope everyone has a really good weekend, and I'll go live on Sunday morning. I will talk to you all later. Have a good weekend. Bye.